Yo guys, Braden here. Back with another vid. Just a quick one today. Just gonna be going over how to read a nutrition label. So I just got one on the board. My computer, simple and easy. So it's pretty much only four things: serving information, calories, nutrients, and quick guide to percentage, like the daily value. That's it. I'm going to go over each one, and then you guys, all of yous, will be able to read any nutritional label you ever see. So, number one, serving information. Serving information is the serving sizes that are standardized to make it easier to compare similar foods. They're provided in familiar units such as cups or pieces, followed by the metric amount. The example would be like the number of grams, it'd be like a G. Serving size is where they trick you, make you think the foods are compatible to one another. You need to pair the serving size to calories per serving, and then how many total servings per container to know how dense in calories something really is. And it's all a trap. You really need to read it because I've done it as well. I thought it was talking about the whole thing, and it was actually talking about like an eighth of it. And it's like, oh shit, that's a lot of calories for like an eighth. So yeah, all nutrient amounts shown on the label, including the number of calories, refer to the size of servings. You got to pay attention to the serving size, especially how many servings I just said that are in the food package. Because yeah, you could be consuming half a serving, a full serving, or more, and that's going to change the calories sufficiently. In the sample here it says 1 cup, 227 grams. That is 2 times the calories and nutrients shown in the sample label I've got here. So you need to double the nutrients and calories amount as well as the daily value to see what you're actually getting in 2 servings. So really, this is only showing 1 serving, not 2. It's showing 1. So you really got to times it by 2. And so that takes that to calories, double, 560. Number 2, calories. Calories are provided per serving of the food. So the example that we have, it says 280 in 1 serving. If we ate the entire package though, which it says there's 4 servings, so it'd go 280 times 4, which would be 1,120 calories. Do you see where they get you? Because if you quickly read it, alright, sick. If you don't look at serving size, you're like, alright, sick. 227 grams. If you don't know much about grams, you're like, alright, sick. I'm just looking at the calories. The calories and how much protein, how much carbs, how much fat. 280 calories, 15 grams of protein, 34 carb, 9 fat. Seems alright. But there's 4 servings. So the calories is times 4 if you're eating the whole thing. There's nothing wrong with 12,000 calories if you're eating a massive meal like a lunch or dinner. But if it's like a snack, this is not good. And especially if you're trying to lose weight, it might represent half of your calories for the whole day. Like if you're on a 2,000 to 2,500 cut, even maintenance, you eat this whole thing, that's pretty much 1,200 calories. That's like your lunch and 2 of your snacks. You're only left with breakfast and dinner, and you probably have to like narrow it down. For number 3 is nutrients. It's probably it's like the most distracting. Most of a distraction, really. When you're stepping outside the 80-20 rule. So you got to pay attention to the macronutrients, of course, protein, fats, and carbs. 2 of your top priorities here is informed by, because of course when you're looking at this, you're looking for calories and protein most of the time. But you've got to look at the carbs, you've got to look at the fats, and this is only per serving. So if you're eating, as we said before, if you're eating the whole thing, you've got to times the fat, the calories as well, the fat, the calories, the carbs, and the protein, all by 4. And you might go over your fat. Like if you're on a low fat diet and you've already had fat for the day. So for number 3, we've got nutrients. Probably the most distracting because everyone is talking about the 80-20 these days. They're always looking at macronutrients, proteins, fats, and carbs. These are, you've probably heard to referred as macros, and these are what they are. These are the most important things for everyone. The top priorities for most people are your protein goals and your calorie goals for each day. Macros contain calories. Protein and carbs have, I'm not sure if you guys have researched, but this is what I've found out. Protein and carbs are 4 calories per gram, while fats are 9 calories per gram. And then you've also got your micronutrients. These do still matter. They're not as important. Just say, for example, if you eat a varied diet with fruit and red meat and get sunlight, you will not be vitamin deficient. Bearing the fact that specific health conditions, though, if you do, it's a completely different story. If you're in this situation, you need to consult a certified nutritionist or physician if you need to. Getting that 30 grams of fiber each day is so important. This is going to help with your digestion and a healthy gut, which is the biggest thing at the moment. Everyone is on about gut health. So if you are struggling with your gut health, look at how much fiber you're having and see if you can incorporate a bit more. There's lots of awesome foods out there that have heaps of fiber. Fruits, vegetables, any kind of carbs, really. Now I, at the moment, am not eating as many carbs as I used to, just because it did make me feel a bit bloated and a bit sluggish, but sometimes you've got to still have carbs. Fruits and vegetables are optimal for everyone. If you're not eating them, I don't know what you're doing. Your health's out the door, I'm sorry. But it's the truth. It's just awesome. Fruit is excellent, delicious, and low calorie way to get fiber and macronutrients for you. Big ones for me is definitely berries, any kind of berries. Love frozen berries in a smoothie. Blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, mangoes, bananas as well, oranges, you name it, the whole lot. So now I've got number 4, the last one, which is your daily value. It's the number 4 on the label. Daily guide to percentage daily value. This percentage is for each nutrients in a serving. So of course the nutrients is made up of 100% of the serving, and then it's cut down to each percentage. So how much fat, how much protein, how many carbs, how much sodium, how much cholesterol. These are expressed in grams, milligrams, or micrograms. The percentage helps you determine if a serving size of the food is high or low in nutrients. And again, these are still important, but not as important as hitting your calories and your protein goals each day, your macro goals in general. General guide to looking at this, the percentage each day, is anything 5% or less of a nutrients per serving is considered low. 20% or more of the nutrients per serving is considered high. So if it's not something that you should be incorporating, if you're low sugar, low fat, low cholesterol, low sodium, and it's more like, as you can see, this one's got 37% on sodium. So if you're trying to like have low sodium, this is probably something you want to steer clear of. But if you're on the opposite end, it's okay. You probably want it more because it has more sodium, which you're looking for. It's all about what your diet is and what you're doing with your diet. So it honestly just matters what you're having and what you're eating every day, and making sure, at the moment, all I'm really caring about for me is I just have whole foods as much as I can to keep my gut health at an optimum. So like single ingredients. Quick little story. I went to the supermarket today. Was gonna get a quick snack after the gym because I was kind of hungry. And of course I went to the health food aisle for one. My question is, why is there a health food aisle in a grocery store? Which a friend asked me the other day, and I was like, holy shit, I've never thought of it. But yeah, it just goes to show how crazy the world is. So yeah, I do live in a Western culture. I do live in Australia, so we're not as, I'm not going to get into a debate. We're slowly getting worse, I think. Not as bad as America at the moment, but we're getting close. But yeah, went to the health food aisle because usually that's where I find most of, or at least the healthiest stuff, healthiest snacks, because I wasn't going to go buy a steak because I wasn't going home. I was going to go for a walk. So it was a nice day. It was sunny. I wanted to get my daily steps in and some sunlight on my body because, as you can see, I'm a bit pasty. And I was just looking at the protein bars. Have been steering clear of them. Like, sometimes they are nice. A little treat. They're good. Very sweet. And I was just interested today. I've looked at it a few times, but haven't really looked in general recently. And I turned it over. It was one of the BSN ones. Actually, let's look it up. BSN was like a birthday cake protein bar. So I was looking at one of these. Yeah, one of these ones. Let's say Quest. It's BSN. Or maybe it's BSC. I get confused with all these freaking names these days. Yeah, it's this one. So, saw one of these. I was like, oh, sick. This looks pretty yummy. I mean, it's definitely full of stuff. And I was going to get it. And sure, why not? Looked at the calories and looked at the macros. And I was like, holy shit. Yeah, okay. Protein is alright. There's only one serving in it. Fat, yeah, it's okay. I'm not like scared of fat. I'm not scared of carbs. I'm not scared of protein. I'm all good. Pretty low carbs, which I'm not complaining about. Seeing if it has the calories and the ingredients. That's what I really want. Because at the moment it's the ingredients for me. Just close the other tab. And ingredients. I just want to show you guys like how many. Yeah, clearly can't spell. Because I was gobsmacked. If you ever see, here we go. If you, holy shit. Wait, this is a paragraph. If you ever see anything that has this many calories, oh my god, mind fart. This many ingredients, I would not eat it. I'm not going to go through them all, but let's just have a look. Alright, Muscle Nation vanilla custard. I mean, I guess that's alright. A sweetener, yeah, probably not the best. Muscle Nation vanilla custard powder, okay. Milk protein concentrate, casein protein, whey protein, skim milk powder, bit of fiber. You got flavor, just flavor. Doesn't say what kind. Oil powder. Waste cooking oil powder. So I just look things up and I'm like, what the hell? Let's look at this. So I'm going to show you guys one. It's a class of lipids. 3 into... So that's going to just trigger your glucose. Give you a glucose spike, which is honestly not the best. Oh, sucralose. I always say it wrong. Sucralose. What's sucralose? It's artificial sweeteners. So artificial sweeteners, so bad for your gut. Like, people are raving on about them. Definitely a year ago, it was the biggest thing. Artificial sweeteners. It's probably all I'll look up, because I'll just talk about this and that'll probably be it. But artificial sweeteners were the next biggest thing. Like, everything was no sugar, low fat, all this, all these sweeteners, thickeners in everything, and that's when we had all these issues with gut health. Like, I know heaps of girls that have struggled so much with bloating, and a lot of my mates who don't get bloated as much as chicks, but they just feel constipated all the time, sick, but nothing. It's bad, and I honestly feel it's because of all these sweeteners. You have all these low sugar sweeteners, they sit inside of your body, and they take so long to digest. There's a study out there that I've read, and I will actually link it once I find it, because I remember seeing it. It talks about how when you have alcohol, not condoning alcohol because I don't actually drink alcohol, being sober for like 6 months, and I've gotten so much mental clarity. So if you're struggling with mental clarity, give sobriety a bit of a go. Anyway, off topic. I used to have vodka raspberries, full of sugar, full of shit, and I could down heaps of them, because the sugar went straight through me, straight through, quick as that. I piss it out, especially after a few. I break the seal. I be onto the toilet heaps. When I changed it to like Coke no sugar, I didn't go to the toilet as often, and I got drunk a lot quicker off like a lot less drinks and a lot cheaper, but it's not good. It's because when things are low sugar and like lower calories, those two are very interlinked. So I'm not going to go into a rant on the different kinds of sugars, but you still need sugar in your diet. People that say you need low sugar, I don't agree with. I'm not saying they're wrong, I just don't agree with them. I use a lot of honey and maple syrup, so as natural as you can get. Like raw honey, some raw maple syrup. It's like Canadian maple syrup, so it's really good. No low sugar, no nothing, because you do need sugars in your diet. Anyway, the lower the calories, it sits in your body and it digests slower, because the less calories you have, the less it has to go down. Doesn't make sense. Because the less calories you have, the less the body has to digest. When you have a massive meal, you actually digest it pretty quick, because there's a lot and your body's working and all that. But when you have low sugar stuff, low calorie stuff, your body's a bit like, oh, I don't know what to do. And sometimes it'll sit there and wait for you to process other food. And that's where all these gut health problems come from. Because if you're eating so much low sugar, low calorie stuff, it's just sitting in the bottom of your gut, waiting for something to push it all down. because it's not enough to like, think of it like a scale. It's not enough weight to read the scale to let it go. So, my honest opinion is stay away from anything that has sweeteners, anything soy as well. I won't go into soy in this video, but anything sweeteners and low sugar. Yeah. This is why today I decided just to keep fasting and wait till I get home, and I ended up cooking 4 eggs with 2 pieces of sourdough and some avocado, which was a lot better for my gut, a lot better for my skin, and a lot better for my health in general. Yeah, have a look next time you go to the shops. I know a lot of people still live with their parents, and it is a bit hard because your parents do the groceries. Offer. I know my mum loves it when I offer and go help her with the groceries. She loves it. I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm helping her out, I'm making her happy, and I can say, oh no mum, let's try this instead, or let's look at the back of that one, let's look at the ingredients. And I'm teaching her because she doesn't know either. I mean, I went on the low calorie, no sugar stuff phase as well. So she's still used to that. So I've got to incorporate and help her to realize why. So yeah, if you ever look at anything that has, I'm not even going to count, almost 2-3 paragraphs worth of ingredients, don't feed it to yourself. Honestly, it's not gonna do any good for you. It's really gonna ruin your gut. And a lot of us are young, a lot of us still have our life to live, and you don't want to ruin your gut when you're young. You want to keep it optimal and optimized. Definitely one thing big advice, go to your grandma's. When was the last time you went to grandma's and looked in the cupboard, looked in her fridge, saw all the ingredients that she had? My grandma lives in a little rural town, and she has minimal ingredients, minimal items. She does a few little sweet things for the grandkids and all that, but she makes bread from scratch. All ingredients natural, like the flour. I don't know how to make bread, so I would have no idea, but it's all natural ingredients. Go look at what's in your bread. The white, high fiber, extra protein, low calorie bread. Have a look at all the ingredients and just ask yourself the question, is that something I want to be putting in my body? That's all. I mean, at the end of the day, my mentor told me, biggest thing that I took from him, the biggest takeaway is, pardon me, he said to me, look, at the end of the day, it's all about awareness. Awareness in everything. I'll probably do a separate video on awareness, but I'll just quickly touch on it because awareness is so powerful. But if you're not aware of what you're eating, what you're consuming, what you're producing, if you're just not aware of everything in your life, how do you know? How do you know if it's right or wrong? Have you asked yourself that question? Pardon me. Yeah, I'll stop there because awareness can go on for like a tangent. But yeah, that was a bit of a rant on how to read a nutrition label. Hope you took some advice from that. And just have a look. Next time you go to the shops, at like your protein bars, your protein shakes, all that. Have a look at the ingredients and ask yourself, do you really want to be putting those products inside of you? Half these are chemicals. But do your research and see what works for you. At the end of the day, I'm only talking from my advice. So yeah, catch you boys. Have a good one.